word, Alex, all through this chat. Blatant. It's so blatantly obvious that you get someone to do this, you link them to those nasty, dangerous people, and people like this, what's his name, Cass Sunstein, one of the czars of Obama. He's been targeting in the most extreme ways the people who are exposing the conspiracy.
No, he says infiltrate 9/11 truth groups and anti-global warming groups and commit violence to get them in trouble and to discredit them.
Yeah, I mean, if the man had a brain cell, it'd be even more dangerous. I mean, when you read some of the stuff that he's saying, but it's so extreme because another word I keep using because it's applicable. They're getting desperate, so they get more extreme, and they're overcooking. They're in very great danger, and eventually they will. They're overcooking what they're trying to sell to the public, and it's getting more and more ludicrous. They overcooked massively. The climate change lie, and because they overcooked it, it's fallen apart. And they'll do the same with this. We're going to get a lot of aggravation, we'll get a lot of criticism, a lot of condemnation from these people, or what pass for people, but, you know, it's a sign of how desperate they are, and it will be very, very interesting to see how this plays out in the next few hours, the next few days, because it's taking on all the signs of the most, again, blatant attempt to discredit this whole conspiracy research community.
Well, let me break this down. The globalists always stage terror attacks, and it's 100% Oklahoma City was a staged deal. Yeah. States' rights movement was exploding. The Patriot movement was exploding. The states were being taken back. That's now happening. They tried to marginalize the Tea Party. They tried to have the Republicans take it over. Now the Patriots have taken it back. Glenn Beck is even admitting this and panicking. The exact same talking points in the last week by Beck, O'Reilly, Chris Matthews, the supposed liberal, have come out saying we're going to be violent, we're going to attack. And then this guy's letter comes out from a blog that confirmed his name first. This is going up at prisonplanet.com right now, and we'll have my basic analysis there that we're going over right now. And then he's basically a Tea Partier who is against the tax code and been part of anti-IRS groups since the 80s. And I mean, this is bad. This is really bad, David.
It is absolutely the Oklahoma bombing revisited, but in another kind of stage of the uncovering of the conspiracy, an even more desperate stage than it was then. So it's no surprise that this is coming. It's bound to come, including, you know, all the efforts to censor the internet, which is the vehicle that's really unraveling this whole conspiracy and putting it before people. The reason people like Jay Rockefeller and all these people are trying to justify censorship of the internet is the same reason they're setting up these problem reaction solutions that we're seeing now.
My God, I've got to read from this. He says, I can only hope that the numbers quickly get too big to be whitewashed and ignored, that the American zombies wake up and revolt. It will take nothing less. I would only hope that by striking a nerve that stimulates the inevitable double standard, knee-jerk government reaction that results in more stupid draconian restrictions, people wake up and begin to see the pompous political thugs and their mindless minions for what they are. Sadly, though, I spent my entire life trying to believe that wasn't so, but violence not only is the answer, it is the only answer. The cruel joke is that the really big chunks of this bleep are at the top, have known this all along, and have been laughing at us using this awareness against us. It goes, fools like me for a long time. I saw it written once. The definition of insanity is repeating the same process over and over again, expecting the outcome to suddenly be different. I'm finally ready to stop this insanity. Well, Mr. Big Brother IRS man, let's try something different. Take my pound of flesh and sleep well. And then this is reportedly the kamikaze attacker. The communist creed, from each according to his ability, to each according to his need. The capitalist creed, from each according to his gullibility, to each according to his greed. And, I mean, it just goes on and on, purportedly written by this guy. And
that wasn't signed by Cass Sunstein, Alex, was it?
Well, yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying.
It should be.
All I can say is, if this turns out to be real, he says, no taxation without representation. He quotes the Founding Fathers. Now, if you quote the Founding Fathers, I mean, look, David, I saw them doing the preparation in the last month. I was sure this was going to happen. I've been telling everybody this. And they singled out Tea Partiers. Beck went further than just 9/11 Truth. In the last week, they've said birthers, who are more than half the Tea Partiers in polls. So now you really see it's the preparation for this, and that Beck's saying, mark my words. This is horrible, David.
What we've got to do, Alex, is we've got to stay calm. Everyone's got to stay calm because they want hysteria, they want panic, and they want us to run around like headless chickens. Oh my goodness, what's going to happen? Well, we just need to stay calm, really calm. We can see what's happening, and we just keep communicating and communicating and communicating what people need to hear. And no matter what's thrown at us, in one ear, out the other, and we keep communicating. And I am not going to go and defend what I've been doing, and neither should anyone else, because obviously it's been so effective. They're having to do this nonsense today. And
David, it's not your opinion. We have Cass Sunstein and all these other big White House people saying they want to provocateur things and criminal actions to set us up. This guy needs to be indicted. He needs to be investigated. Expanding on this, the person that shoots first loses. We've always said they want to precipitate violence first, so it looks like they have the moral authority. And every time we're cresting, this didn't happen randomly 6 months ago. Every time we're cresting at a new level of mass awakening, they start staging the events.
Yeah, this is why, I was writing articles a year ago or something like that now, saying, or more, please don't riot. The way to meet this is through information and, crucially, through mass non-cooperation with the system. We're holding it together. It's a house of cards, and we are the flipping glue. When we cease to be so, the house of cards falls. Look at a pyramid. The power in the pyramid is at the base, not the capstone. We are manipulated to think the power's up there, so we don't realize we are the power holding that up there by giving our power to that and our sense of where the power is to that. We need to stop cooperating on a mass scale. These guys can't run a system. They can only manipulate the system.
I agree.
The mass of the people that run the system, we have to stop doing it. And we have to stop having excuses for not doing it. We've reached the point now where, we're at a fork in the road, and we either have mass non-cooperation, not just protest, non-cooperation with the system, and that will bring it down. Not violence, not rioting, non-cooperation. And we need to start getting this organized all over the world now. Organized non-cooperation so the system cannot function.
David, notice how right as Income Tax Day comes up, and they know there's record anger about taxes growing, the country is in revolution. I wanted to add this to you, a revolution of awakening. Every C-SPAN show, every local radio show, I'm not even tuning into much media. Everybody's calling me. Every time I tune in, there's random well-spoken callers about 9/11 being an inside job, about the flu being a hoax, about the carbon tax being a fraud. Our internet numbers at Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com are exploding. Our films are seen hundreds of millions of times a year, free online. Your info is exploding. And right on time, this starts happening. Look at the timing. Look at the preparation, the pre-preparation for all of this. I mean, this is a desperation move, and I don't think it's going to work. And the more I read this letter, and the fact that the site that first reported his name correctly are the ones that had this, and Paul Watson's doing a big article right now about this, and I want him to keep adding to it, is that I wouldn't be surprised if the feds aren't out posting this stuff and that he didn't even write this, but that they'll probably turn out saying, oh, no, he really did. Because the way this is written is it's meant to push and start a violent revolution.
Well, yeah, look at a violent revolution and a violent or a vociferous response against those communicating the truth about the world. But look at this Mossad operation this week, which was caught on camera, and you saw it all unfold over the day, and the Hamas guy was killed and stuff like that. And the mainstream media are going, oh my goodness, this is a daily common occurrence. These intelligence agencies, or lack of intelligence agencies, that's what they really are, like the CIA, British intelligence, and Mossad. They're taking people out. They're discrediting them with false information and setting them